Looking back and reviewing this last game, just starting with, offensively, way too many negative plays, too much pressure on the quarterback, got him off the spot, a lot of, not as much schematically, but just really kind of getting whipped and getting pushed back into the quarterback. Too many negative plays in the run game. So we've got to eliminate those plays, okay, the negative plays. Lots of positives too, a lot of 4 and 6 yard runs, popped a few out there, but just too many 3rd and 7s, 8s. Got to put back-to-back plays together, and we did do a good job doing that. Turned the ball over in the red area right before the half, made really 2 ill-advised throws here in the game. Got to do a better job all over the field offensively, starting at offensive line, quarterback, running back, tight end, and wide receiver, and blocking in the run game. Defensively, got 4 turnovers, should have had another one there, but kind of changed the game, gave the offense short fields, didn't do a whole lot with it at times, but we got field goals, and for every turnover was really points there. Special teams continue to do a pretty good job there, and we've got to improve there every week. We'll spend a lot of time on that today, but came out of the game pretty healthy. Looking at Kentucky, a team that has kind of changed its identity a little bit, obviously with the injury at quarterback. Had to kind of revamp a little bit what they were doing offensively, and Eddie Grant's done a really, really nice job in the changes that he's made there. So finding ways to win with Bowden playing quarterback, so doing a nice job. I followed Mark at Florida State, and he really, really does a nice job recruiting guys, evaluating talent, the intangibles of how they play, the season they had last year, what he's done to that program at Kentucky, the identity that they kind of play with. They're physical, they're tough, they play together. Very opportunistic. You look at their defense, one of the best defenses in our league. And then they do a great job in special teams. The punter punts the ball all over the place. On the kickoff cover, they do a really nice job placing the ball. They've got good skill players to return it. So, we've got to continue to improve this week. We need to make tons of strides in all 3 phases to give us an opportunity to have success Saturday night. It'll be a hostile environment, so we're looking forward to the challenge. But Kentucky has a team that is really talented, playing really well right now, and we'll have to be at our best to have a shot Saturday.
Steve, Blake, David.
Just wondering, what was it about this team that kind of enabled y'all to turn things around? What was the mood the team like at 1-4, and how were y'all able to kind of move forward rather than dwell on what was going on?
Well, you have to figure out why we're 1-4, right? Pretty simple. We turned the football over. We didn't get enough turnovers. We didn't play clean. We had some guys that were injured early in the year or didn't play, and we were young. So it's a recipe for not really a whole lot of good. So our kids have come, and our coaching staff done a really good job to get them to come to practice, buy in, compete hard. We got good leadership on our team. Our guys have never flinched. They just kind of keep working. They believe in what we're doing here. It's amazing when you believe in something, you kind of stay the course. Our kids believe. They believe in what we're doing. They believe in our strength and conditioning, our nutrition, the people that are coaching them, player development. So we've kind of stuck together, just keep grinding it out.
Blake and David.
Jeremy, for defense, what are the challenges when you're facing a team that's using a wide receiver at quarterback?
Well, You know, they've had an off week, this week, and if you look, he's really, in the last 3 games is when he started playing the most. You see their offense grow, in that period of time of things that they're doing. They really do some nice stuff in the run game, you know, with the read stuff, and I mean, whether it's read, Q, power, O, tag, mag, and they've always been kind of a blue, running, or excuse me, 11 personnel running the football, but really do a nice job. So you kind of don't know exactly what you're going to get, you know, a little bit there. So, and he has talent to throw the ball. You know, it's not like he's a guy that can't throw the ball. He can throw the football. You know, so but they've really kind of shortened the game and how they've played. They've been very efficient with their drives. You know, and probably the last 2 games that they've played in, it looks like it's been a monsoon on tape. So they played in the you know, very poor weather. So, you know, you don't know exactly what you're going to get from throwing the football there.
David, Vince, Rob, Jesse.
Along the same lines, what are sort of the principles that you sort of emphasize when you're facing an attack like that, or quarterback that's run as often as those guys?
What are some of the what?
The principles that you sort of drill in as part of the game plan when you talk to your defenders.
Well, we need to win the line of scrimmage. You know, this will be a line of scrimmage game. We need to keep edges on the defense. You know, when the ball's out in space, we need to be able to tackle one-on-one. We cannot give up one-on-one, you know, to a blocker defensively. You gotta make 2 guys block you. And we can't let the ball be thrown over our head, you know, so eliminate explosive plays. Gotta find a way to get some turnovers. It really doesn't change every week. It's kind of the same thing. Maybe what the other team does changes, but our philosophy is never gonna change on how we wanna play defense.
Vince, Rob, Jesse.
2 things. Paxton Brooks has been handling the punting. Is that just earned opportunity, or has Doe been banged up? And then the second thing is, have you been a part of a team where a wide receiver was the leader and the impactful guy that Juwan Jennings is? Because that seems to be unusual for that position.
Well, Paxton's done a good job in practice to earn these opportunities. You know, it could change this week, so we'll see. We're going to play the guys who give us the best opportunity to have success. You know, fortunately for us, we have 2 pretty good punters. You know, and there's lots of competition there, so you know, it will make them better as they continue to grow and develop as football players. And you know, I mean, you're talking about Juwan. I mean, we have lots of good leaders on our team. You know, Juwan's a passionate guy that he's probably the oldest guy on our team. You know, so you know, he's kind of been through the wars a little bit. You know, he's probably developed some wisdom about how to handle your daily business, how to do lots of things, right? The older we get, we learn from our mistakes, we learn from others' mistakes, and we try to pass it on to the people that we care about. Juwan cares about his teammates, and you know, he's a guy that really wants to finish this season the right way.
Coach, just going back to August, when he first got there, how much progress have you seen Trey Smith make as he's gotten acclimated to play football again in the routine he has to go through?
Well, he practiced twice in August. This is the 9th game, so that's 11 practices. You think about fall camp, how many practices you have in that 3-week period, he would really be, you know, getting ready for the first game based off the number of times that he's practiced. So, it says a lot about him, about number 1, about his ability, 2, about his willingness to do other things to help him get prepared to play in the game so he can play at a high level, and he continues to improve every game.
Jesse.
I guess just kind of what's the latest on the quarterback situation? Is Brian going to be full go in practice this week? And if he is healthy, is he the guy that you said he didn't get as many reps last week on Saturday after the game? Is he the guy that you guys expect to maybe really push forward?
Yeah, he was full go last week. You know, he Louisville go last week, so, again, we'll look and see where we're at and who gives us the best opportunity to have success, and we'll play those guys. Might be one of them, might be two of them, might be three of them, so.
I guess in a second question, with the defensive turnaround you guys have made in the last month, the last 4 games, is it as simple as getting Batuli and Bryce Thompson and some of those guys back that didn't have at the beginning of the season and just a natural growth from the rest of the guys, or did you really see a turnaround at some point in the last 4 games when the guys, the whole unit really started to click?
Well, for the first 2 or 3 games, 4 of our best football players on defense didn't play. We're not at a point in time in the program where we can just plug a guy in and say, okay, there's no drop off. You know, you're talking about Emmett Gooden, you're talking about Bateman Buchanan, Rice and Daniel. It's a big blow, so you have to start kind of moving guys around. So yeah, that hurt us tremendously. Getting 2 of those guys back has helped. The fact that the guys that kind of got plugged in and played, I mean, when you were going to be young defensively and inexperienced, so the guys are going to continue to improve over the course of the year, and they've done that, you know. So it's not surprising that we have improved, especially those guys coming back, you know. Against Mississippi State, we lose Trayvon Flowers for the year. It's a big deal, you know, one of our best defensive backs. So, and he was a guy during fall camp who was injured, you know, so he plays the first couple of games. He's not healthy, or not at 100%. He's healthy, just not at 100%. So, unfortunately, we had an injury bug in fall camp and lost a few guys, but we're kind of getting some guys back, and guys have gained experience over the course of the season, and we are playing somewhat better.
Weston Austin.
As you broke down some of that offensive line stuff from the game on Saturday, you know, from the outside looking in, it looked like that group had started to play much better football throughout the year. Is that just a bad night, or were there a couple of injuries that got in the way? Was UAB pretty good up front? What led to some of the struggles for y'all?
Yeah, I think UAB is pretty good up front to start with. I think they've done a really nice job. You know, when you're going to run the football, it takes you know, 5 offensive linemen. If you got 2 tight ends in the game, those 2 guys are a runner, and it takes a quarterback to glue it all together. You know, so when people move, there's moving parts on the defensive side. There's one guy that's standing over the deal that can see all of it. And you got to make sure that you got the right, you know, spots or the right point, so everybody knows we're working in the right direction. We had a couple of mistakes, not a couple. We had too many mistakes from that standpoint. We probably got whipped a couple of times, and maybe we didn't use the proper technique, or we might have ran the ball the wrong way, as far as from a quarterback, you know, making sure we're running the ball to the correct side. That's all important, right? So, and that a lot of that goes into who our quarterback is, you know, each week, you know. So, you know, as an offensive play caller, you just don't want to go out there and say, you know, hey, I want to line up in dot and run zone to the right. Well, what if they, you know, we got a center, a guard, a tackle, and a tight end, so that's 4, right? What if they put 6 dudes over there? We still don't run zone to the right? Probably you're not going to get a whole lot of success there. So you got to be able to package runs and be able to change them and things like that. So we missed some of those other nights, which didn't help.
Austin.
Coach Sean Schamberger is a guy that's, you know, gotten better and better over the course of the season. What's he doing specifically well? And is it just a matter of just, you know, becoming more mature and getting more experience, or is there something that maybe clicked for him?
Well, you know, I guess he's been here, you know, now the 2nd year in the system. You know, I didn't feel like he played very good other night. You know, he keeps playing. We don't have a whole lot of numbers back there to play, but he's a guy that has improved as the season has went. You know, and he has really good athletic ability and has some instincts as a player. He needs to be more consistent as a blitzer and more consistent, in coverage. But he's a guy, but based off the fact that he's been in the system, for 2 years now, he's gonna improve, you know, so, you know, the way we practice, you know, you're gonna develop as a football player. As long as, you know, that's why when you get guys that have a little bit of age, they might not have played a whole lot as a freshman or a sophomore, but if they stay in their system, the way we practice, the way we develop players, they're gonna continue to improve and get better, which is, you know, football is a developmental game. You wanna be coached, you wanna see improvement, and Sean's a guy that has continued to do that. You know, now we're looking at the consistency, right? He's played really well early in the year. Just the other night, he just didn't play as good. I probably shouldn't have said that, but it's the truth. But we're looking for more consistency there, and he has the ability to be a good player.
Dave and Steve.
Jeremy, how do you study late game decision making? What does that look like on game day, that process?
What do you mean late game
Just
decision?
managing the clock.
Well, I don't manage the clock. You're talking about
Like making decisions.
timeouts,
Yeah, like
punting.
when to use timeouts, how, you know, how does that work on game day, and how do you study that?
I got you. So game management. Well, there's, I guess probably, because as long as football has been going on, there's lots of things that are kind of pretty well documented, right? Kind of when to go for two, or kind of the philosophy of going for two. You know, there's lots of things, scenarios that you have to work consistently when you have the ball offensively, based off the score. Are you trying to score touchdowns? Are you trying to run the clock out? Do you need a field goal? Is it before halftime? So there's lots of things that go into that. So you try to go through all the scenarios during the off season. You know, starting in probably February, when we're doing quality control, and make sure that we all have the same philosophy about what we need to do to get us prepped during spring, to make sure we're able to hit all these things. You know, sometimes you have to go off your gut too, right? So you see the game, you're on the field, you feel what's going on, you know. I was watching somebody play the other day, just as I was walking through. You know, a team was moving the football, and somebody burned a timeout just to stop them. You know, it's kind of one of those things in high school. When I was a high school coach, if a team's moving the ball, you know, hey, you might need to call timeout to get them settled down, or make a correction or something that, so you can keep them out of the end zone, right? I mean, nowadays, everybody talks about keeping your timeouts to the end of the half, right? So, you know, sometimes you just gotta go off your gut. So, but there is a lot of things that are documented that you kind of study and look at.
Steve and then Brent and Eric.
Just wondering, when you're trying to build a program, what's the biggest advantage you get from making a bowl, or biggest disadvantage from not making a bowl? Is it the extra practices, the recruiting benefit, just momentum for the program, the confidence in the room, or what?
Listen, we're not focused on making a bowl. What we're focused on is being the best football team we can be today, continue to develop as a team, get ready for Kentucky. That's all. That's what we're worried about. I know where you're going with that. That's what we're focused on. I don't have time to worry about that other. I think it's kind of common sense, you know. Practice, get 15 extra practices. Gotta help you, right?
Brent.
Coach, in your opening defensive possession, the last 5 games, I think you forced a punt. The first part of the year, teams were scoring on you guys to start the second half. Is that coincidence? Is that your defense understanding adjustments better at the half? What do you make of your defense's ability to start the second half better than they did the first part of the year?
I don't know. It's a good question. Something that we need to continue to look at and see. We've really not changed how we prepare at halftime. The same. We've been taking the same procedure that we always do at halftime and continue to do it throughout the year. It would probably make sense that maybe our kids, because of youth, have kind of learned to apply it a little bit, all the things, all the information that they're given. But we've really tried to focus on being the second half team. We weren't early in the year at all, but we we've really tried to get our kids motivated to be that way. There's certain positions that we have lack of depth right now, whether it's based off injury or numbers or experience. And we've tried to be smart as a coaching staff to be able to address that as the game goes.
Last few, Eric, Blake, Wes.
With the team playing better really the last month, what are the effects that has had on recruiting? Do you feel like you gained some momentum the last couple of weeks with talking to some prospects?
You know, I don't know how much we played better Saturday than we played back at the beginning of the year. You know, if you turn the ball over 3 and 4 times a game, you're not going to beat anybody, which is what we did early in the year. If you give up 65-yard passes with 20 seconds on the clock, you're not going to beat anybody. You know, we at times, we've continued to improve this year, and we're going to work hard to do that. We've got to finish, right? That's the goal, to improve every game. So we have a huge challenge this week. Our kids know that. You know, we're excited for the opportunity. We have yet to win a game on the road, you know, which is a mark of a good football team, is being able to go on the road and win football games, and we have yet to do that. So we have a whole lot to prove as coaches, as players, everybody associated in the program, you know, so and we'll have an opportunity to do it Saturday night.
Last two, Wes, Blake.
Yeah, I know that when y'all were sitting there around 1 and 4, you made some comments to the effect of, you know, we want to look at everything we're doing here, everything the players are doing, everything we're doing as coaches, and kind of evaluate what's working and what's not. When y'all looked at what you were doing as coaches, was there anything drastic that you changed about what y'all were doing, or did you just kind of stay the course and hope the team would improve, and eventually it did?
Well, it's about being efficient. You know, playing cleaner. You know, we talk about it on both sides of the ball. It's the details. You know, so you look at each week, the team that usually wins the turnover battle usually wins the game. You know, start with that. Let's just take care of the football. You know, let's get some turnovers on defense. So it is no magic pill, no. It's about details, execution. You know, doing the little things, and you know, our kids have continued to work at it, and you know, we were younger, a young team, and the guys have kind of developed, and hey, let me tell you, we have a long ways to go. Okay, we have not come close to playing our best football yet, so and we're running out of time, so we've got to be able to do that.
Blake, final question.
Jeremy, it's been a few weeks now. I've been using Jarrett in that 6-man type role. I guess, how did you come to the decision to do that, and how do you manage that while also allowing the offense to find a rhythm?
Well, you know, he practiced last week with his hand, you know, after surgery, and done it on Wednesday and Thursday, and there wasn't much issue, but when it was cooler Saturday night, so you're a little bit, how's he gonna handle it during the warm-ups and some of that, you know, so I feel like JT played good enough in the South Carolina game, and he finished the game to start the game. I knew at some point we would, you know, give Jared an opportunity. He didn't take as many snaps during the week as he normally does, but he's a guy that can kind of help glue a lot of things together with, you know, with the other players. And when he does that, we play better. You know, this comes from having more experience than the other guys. You know, so but I think it's easy for him. He has the maturity to kind of see and learn from what's going on here in the game and apply it. So that's one of the reasons we've done it.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.